Good morning and welcome back to Planet Althistory. Today we are going to discuss what if Vorarlberg joined Switzerland. Where is Vorarlberg and what is it? Vorarlberg is nowadays an Austrian Bundesland, similar to a US state. It is next to Tyrol, Liechtenstein, Switzerland and Germany. It is in the tip of Austria and thus the geographically most western part of it. Vorarlberg has the nickname of Kanton Übrig, which means the remaining canton. As we all know, Switzerland is divided into cantons politically. And due to the disintegration of Austria-Hungary, the people in the remaining parts of Austria, they were looking for a future. Nobody could imagine that an independent Austria next to Germany, Italy and especially a small state with a world capital such as Vienna could survive on its own. And that's why there were multiple solutions on the table, and most of them included the forbidden Anschluss with Germany. But not only that, certain regions within Austria, they had a different vision, a different idea. And believe it or not, there was actually a referendum organized in this particular region of Austria. And most people in there voted in favor of joining Switzerland. Yes, and it was actually an overwhelming 81% in 1919 who wanted to do that. But what kept it from joining Switzerland? Well, first of all, Switzerland itself kept Vorarlberg from joining it. The Swiss establishment was afraid that the Catholic and German-speaking territory might upset the balance within Switzerland. Remember, in the 1910s and 1920s, religion and the different religious confessions that exist, they were still very important in the political life. And Switzerland has not only a German-speaking part, no, but also a French, Italian and Romansh-speaking part. Yes, Vorarlberg isn't that big. Switzerland too isn't a huge country. So as a result, even having a new territory that would be Catholic and German would upset the balance that existed for decades and hundreds of years within Switzerland. And at the end, the people of Vorarlberg, they had to be content staying in Austria, because also the Austrian government, of course, was against Vorarlberg joining Switzerland. And as we all know, well, Vorarlberg was then later on annexed by Germany as part of Austria. Not only that, there were also other countries which opposed Vorarlberg from joining Switzerland. We have Italy, for instance, and even France wasn't that happy with this idea. But what if all of that changed? What if Vorarlberg joined Switzerland? First of all, we need to get rid of the opposition. Let's just say that the Austrian opposition to it would still exist. But seeing how Austria was, well, part of the Central Powers and how Woodrow Wilson advocated for self-determination, the Allies may at least stay neutral towards Vorarlberg joining Switzerland or even have sympathies for it. This would be a much better deal than them joining Germany, for instance, because, after all, that's something that was forbidden. Switzerland would probably not reorganize its territories, but they would set new laws in place that would prevent a Catholic or German domination in one way or another. Yes, it would make things much messier in Swiss politics, but On a local level, things would go very smoothly for some time. Italy, France, Germany and Austria, they wouldn't be all that happy with Switzerland's annexation of Vorarlberg. But Germany would deal with far worse problems. France would see the good point of having one potential territory less for Germany, and only Italy could be somewhat sour about it. But then again, Switzerland was neutral and Vorarlberg wanted to join themselves, Switzerland. Switzerland could perhaps be open to annex new territories after some more months and years, but I doubt that any new territories would join Switzerland. Sure, some people will now claim, but Liechtenstein will get annexed because it is surrounded by Switzerland. Tell this to San Marino, the Vatican, Lesotho, and to some extent even Monaco, which are surrounded by one country, and yet they are independent states. So no, Liechtenstein won't join Switzerland. Switzerland will culturally not change that much because culturally people from Vorarlberg, they are very close to the German-speaking Swiss people. Switzerland's image won't suffer as well because Vorarlberg joined freely and there was no aggression whatsoever from Switzerland in that case. Swiss neutrality will thus still be accepted, but it may be questioned by some powers such as Italy and later on perhaps even Nazi Germany. The problems they may arise once Mussolini rises to power as well as the Nazis in Germany, especially when Austria gets annexed. Honestly, I don't think that Hitler will go and invade Switzerland, but he might sponsor some chaos within Switzerland. The Swiss have a strong sense of national identity and a very unique history. The only place that may get a lot of Nazi sympathizers would be Vorarlberg. Perhaps we could see initiatives to join the Third Reich. We may even see a successful referendum campaign taking place, but at the end, World War II would still follow the same trajectory and an Anschluss of Vorarlberg to the Third Reich would not happen because organizing a referendum, getting the signatures, approvals, etc., that would take at least some years, and until then, World War II would be over and Germany would have been split and Austria resurrected as independent state. At this point, Austria may accept the fact that Vorarlberg is Swiss and Switzerland and Austria could approach each other. In another timeline, where Germany beats the Soviets, I believe that Vorarlberg would be the perfect excuse for Hitler to start the Operation Tannenbaum. It is, however, likely that Germany would just ask for Vorarlberg, while ignoring Switzerland for economic and diplomatic reasons, gold and good location to discuss things with enemies if needed. If the Swiss would reject the German demands, then Vorarlberg as well as Liechtenstein would be taken in a heartbeat, while the rest of Switzerland could hold for much longer but would also quickly fall apart. Vorarlberg, Liechtenstein and Tyrol would be regrouped into one Reichsgau, Vorarlberg Tirol. In the unlikely event where Germany would invade Switzerland earlier on, Operation Barbarossa could have been postponed, perhaps the US would have never intervened, Britain may have capitulated, or Germany could waste so much in there, so many resources in this invasion of Switzerland, and especially Vorarlberg, that it's impossible to predict what could have been. A potential invasion of Switzerland by the Germans deserves its own video anyway. And that's where we leave it for now. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed my video. Be sure to like and subscribe, leave a comment, support me also on Patreon, and join my forum, forum.planetalthistory.ga. Until next time, on Planet Althistory.